It is the final game of pool play in Pool D between the Dominican Republic and Venezuela here in Miami, Florida, Lone Depot Park, home of the Miami Marlins. On the mound for the Dominican Republic is Sandy Alcantara, who pitched against this Venezuela team last World Baseball Classic just 3 years ago and struggled in that game. Went 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Venezuela did end up winning that game. That was their first victory against the Dominican in the World Baseball Classic. We're a couple minutes away from the first pitch here in the final game of pool play in Pool D, and we'll be back with you for that first pitch coming up shortly. And we are back. Apologies, we had some technical difficulties, but we're back in the bottom of the first inning. It is 2-0 Dominican Republic after a 2-run homer from Juan Soto as Acuna grounds out one to Machado deep in the hole. Throw to first, got him! What a play for Manny Machado to start off the home half of the first inning here in Miami. And those are the type of plays you expect Manny to make. Backhanded deep in the hole at third and was able to get it to Vladdy, and Vladdy made a nice stretch to get the out there for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Maikel Garcia, Kansas City Royal, batting in the 2-hole tonight here against Sandy Alcantara, who's pitching in his home ballpark. As the first pitch shows a bunt, but takes it for strike one. Machado, a 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, including a Platinum Glove. As Alcantara sets and fires. And that one misses outside. It's 1-1. What a great environment tonight here in Miami. The most expensive pool play tickets, the cheapest tickets before the game were going for $215. Everybody wanted to experience this environment as the 1-1 from Alcantara is grounded to short. Perdomo knocks it down, barehanded, no throw. And it'll be an infield single for Maikel Garcia. Take a look at the Venezuela lineup. Already saw Acuna, Garcia, Luis Arias stepping up, Wilson Contreras, Salvi Perez, William Contreras, Wilyer Abreu, Ezequiel Tovar, and Jackson Churio manning the outfield and center field. So it'll be runner on first, one out for Luis Arias, who's already hit 2 homers in this tournament. He's 6 for 11, has driven in 7, as he'll face former teammate Sandy Alcantara on the pickoff over to first, but Garcia back there in time. Man, it seems like whenever Luis Arias steps into the Venezuela uniform, he unlocks his power. .929 slugging percentage here in the World Baseball Classic. He'll show bunt and take outside ball one. One ball, no strike. The pitch is up and away, 2-0. Venezuela in their home whites. The Dominican Republic in their blue uniforms tonight. Venezuela, the home team. Last year, the Venezuelan team, the first win against the Dominican Republic, it was a 5-1 win, a game that Sandy Alcantara started. As the 2-0 misses in, 3-0 on Luis Arias. On deck is the first baseman, Wilson Contreras, newly acquired Boston Red Sox. And there's no real stakes in this game. Both these teams are moving on to the elimination rounds, but the loser of the game will face Japan. The winner will face South Korea. As Arias taken all the way, draws ball 4. It's first and second with 1 out for the cleanup hitter, Wilson Contreras. And Arias, of course, known for his great eye, great contact ability. Draws the 4-pitch walk, and that'll bring up Wilson Contreras, who has driven in 2 in the tournament. He's 2 for 8. This is his first World Baseball Classic appearance, along with his brother William Contreras, who's doing the catching tonight. As Venezuela looks to bounce back against the Dominican 2-0 down here in the bottom of the first. Alcantara pitching from the stretch, takes a look over at Maikel Garcia. The pitch is in there for strike one. Venezuela in their other 3 World Baseball Classic games scored 6, 11, and 4 runs and really put a hurting on Netherlands and Israel in their first 2 games. 0-1. The pitch. Contreras takes outside ball 1. And Alcantara kind of struggled in his first start in the World Baseball Classic as well against Nicaragua, as the Dominican got out to a lead, but then Sandy kept giving up runs and it kept Nicaragua in before the Dominican quickly ran away with that one. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1. So Wells kind of steps out in front of the plate, trying to And he'll actually go out and we'll have a quick mound visit here as the infield will convene and the Boo Birds are out here in Miami. The Venezuelan contingent not happy with this mound visit as Wells Machado, Perdomo Marte, and the first baseman Vladdy Jr. will meet with Sandy Alcantara, try and calm him down. We saw that in the first game against Nicaragua where Alcantara was missing a lot, but the catcher came out, got the mound visit, and Sandy really settled down after that. And Ronald Acuna Jr., Nova hitter has faced Sandy Alcantara more than Ronald Acuna Jr., 13 for 38. But it's first and second, 1 out, 2 balls and 1 strike. As Alcantara already set, but Contreras letting him stew there on the mound by himself. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch is outside. It's ball 3. And if he walks him, it'll be bases loaded for the Venezuelan captain, Salvador Perez. 2-0 Dominican lead. Venezuela looking to bounce back early in a game. It is March 11th, and it feels like it is October. The 3-1. Contreras grounded right side pass. Marte into the outfield, a base hit. Tatis comes up firing. Garcia to the plate. It's cut off. It's 2-1. An immediate answer back by Venezuela. Wilson Contreras, an RBI single, and that'll bring up Salvador Perez Jr. with a chance to tie it or put the Venezuelans ahead. And like I was mentioning earlier, we saw the immediate bounce back after the Dominican went up early, and then Sandy came in and allowed a handful of runs just past the outreach of Marte. Tatis came up firing, but the throw was cut off by Vladdy Guerrero. And the Venezuela dugout was out of there in an instant. It's 2-1. Now the captain, Salvi Perez, driven in a run, steps up with first and second, 1 out. The first pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Perez 3 for 9 this World Baseball Classic, his 4th time, as hitting coach Miguel Cabrera barking some instructions out to the third base coach Ruglis Odor. The 0-1. Check swing, appeal over to first. He did not go to his first base umpire, Lance Barksdale. It's 1-1. Miguel Cabrera, of course, had played for Venezuela for a handful of years, but now the hitting coach. 1-1 count. Perez swings through that one, strike 2. This would be a big out here for Sandy Alcantara, as it's first and second, 1 out, 1 balls and 2 strikes. Alcantara peers into his catcher, Austin Wells, gets the sign, sets and deals. Perez swing and a miss. Disgusting changeup there from Sandy Alcantara. Gets his first K of the ball game and the second out of the inning. And a changeup that just fell off the plate. Perez swung through it. Well, that'll bring up the catcher, William Contreras. Of course, we saw his brother earlier drive in the first run of the ballgame for Venezuela. Steps up with 2 outs, first and second. Venezuela trying to bounce back and tie this game back up and pick up their pitcher, Eduardo Rodriguez. As, ooh, that one was a little bit off the plate. Contreras has a beef with it, as he does, but it's called strike 1. Home plate umpire tonight, Gabe Morales, Major League umpire. First and second, 2 down. Contreras, hands held up high, awaits the 0-1. Grounded over to Machado. He'll throw on to Guerrero, and the inning is over. So the Venezuelans threaten. Only 1 run scores. We are at the top of the second. 2-1 Dominican. Back in Miami, the Dominican Republic up early 2-1. Eduardo Rodriguez clearly pumped up. Averaged 92 mile an hour last year with the Diamondbacks. He's 94 through the first inning. As the first pitch to Julio Rodriguez is grounded to the shortstop. Tovar charging, fires to first, got him. One pitch, one out for Eduardo Rodriguez as he bounces back. Juan Soto, 2-run shot. The only runs across for the Dominican are here early. 1 run scored for Venezuela on a RBI single by Wilson Contreras. As that will bring up the catcher, Austin Wells. Eduardo Rodriguez, Valencia, Venezuela. It's the first pitch to Wells. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. And Wells having a conversation with the home plate umpire, Gabe Morales. Wells 1 for 9. That one hit, it was a homer. The 0-1. Miss is outside 1-1. Austin Wells, New York Yankees catcher. Not born in the Dominican, but has heritage in the Dominican that allows him to compete. As it's 2-1. As we look at Juan Soto and Ahmed Rosario kind of chatting with Erod about throwing 3 straight fastballs to Austin Wells. 2-1. And just missed outside. It's 3-1. Of course, this game, this tournament means a lot to these teams, but we've seen it a lot with some of these Latin countries. They still know how to have fun, how to fraternize with one another while still treating this tournament like it should be. As the 3-1 is swung through by Austin Wells, a high heater. He missed. The counts are on full. The on-deck hitter, Geraldo Perdomo. That homer was a 2-run homer. 1 down, full count. Rodriguez sets and fires. And Wells high to right field. Acuna giving it a look, and it's in the seats. So we'll do it again. It's full. And now Acuna having a conversation with the fans down the right field line. So we'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the second. Rodriguez set. Wells making him wait. The full count delivery from Rodriguez. Got him swinging. Swings through the high heater. It's 3rd K of the game for Rodriguez. And it's 2 outs here in the second. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Geraldo Perdomo. Perdomo, the shortstop for the Diamondbacks. Teammate on teammate here. 2 D-backs. The first pitch to Perdomo misses low. Ball 1. Perdomo from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. A fantastic season for him last year. 290 average, 20 homers, stole 27 bags, 100 RBIs. As that one misses low, 2-0. Perdomo still looking for his first hit this tournament. Has walked 4 times and stolen 2 bags. The 2-0 is there for the corner, strike 1. Perdomo led the NL in WAR among position players. Of course, Shohei Ohtani a little bit of an anomaly when you account for WAR. As the 2-1 lefty Eduardo Rodriguez misses high, it's ball 3. Fernando Tatis is the on-deck hitter and would bat if Perdomo were to get on. The 3-1 is there at the letters, and Perdomo thought he had a walk, and now the crowd giving it to Gabe Morales. There's been some questionable calls from both sides on Gabe Morales. Looked like it did catch the top of the zone, but Perdomo thought he had a free pass, so it's full, 2 down. The 3-2 pitch. Got him looking, rung him up. Eduardo Rodriguez is fired up, and so is the Venezuelan dugout. We're the home half of the second. Venezuela down by 1. Welcome back to Miami, Florida. The final Pool D game before the elimination round starts. Update from Houston, Italy, Mexico. Italy up by 6 as Wilyer Abreu will lead it off out of Maracaibo, Venezuela. First pitch to him is in there for strike one. Semifinal and the finals in Miami, as well as the quarterfinals and one quarterfinal in Houston. Wilyer Abreu has finished 3 seasons in the majors, already 2 Gold Gloves. A really great piece of that young Boston outfield as the ball misses blown away 1-1. Abreu, 22 homers last season with the Red Sox. Has driven in 3 runs so far in the pool play. 1-1. He is swung through. Great changeup by Sandy Alcantara. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Abreu, fouled away, and Abreu stays alive. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball there. Alcantara, 478 career strikeouts at Lone Depot Park, his home ballpark. It's the most all-time in this ballpark. The 1-2 delivery. Abreu in on his fist, but just fouls it off. And we'll run it back again. Abreu did show some propensity, to strike out. For the past 2 seasons, had 40 walks on the dot while having more than 100 Ks. And he's down 1-2 against Wilyer Abreu. The pitch. Up the middle, off the glove of Marte, and into center field. It's a base hit. Abreu takes a big turn around first, but Rodriguez gets there quickly, and it's a leadoff single for Wilyer Abreu. And a lot of hard contact off of Sandy Alcantara here early. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Ezequiel Tovar, the Colorado Rockies. As that ball just hit off the glove of Marte. Looked like he could have made the play, but kicks into center field, and that'll bring up the 8-hole hitter, Ezequiel Tovar, batting 1,000 with a double. Tovar, a Gold Glove as well. 24 years old, out of Maracay, Venezuela. Looks at a fastball at the corner, strike one. Tovar, 3 for 3, a double, scored a run in 2 games. A down year for Tovar last year after a great 2024. Put up 4 WAR, had 45 doubles, pickoff attempt over to first, but not in time as the Bluebirds back out. Take a look at Gerardo Parra, the first base coach for Team Venezuela, former Diamondback National. Of course, Baby Shark took over the nation's capital in 2019, their run to the World Series. 0-1. There goes Abreu. Tovar fouls it off. Looks like the hit and run sign was on from the manager, Omar Lopez. Now, when Sandy Alcantara was asked about what this game would mean to him after struggling in the Venezuela game last World Baseball Classic, he said he didn't see it as revenge. He just wanted to go out there and compete, and he said, may the best team win. So far, Dominican up 2-1. The 0-2 to Tovar. Swing and a miss. 98 at the knees. Tovar swings through it. The second K of the game for Sandy Alcantara. And that's out number 1. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Jackson Chourio, the birthday boy. Steps up to the plate with Abreu over at first and 1 out. Chourio with the Brewers. Turning just 22 years old. Grounded to Perdomo. Oh, big cop picked by Perdomo. And he starts the double play. It kind of went up on Perdomo, but he's able to roll it. And that's the end of the inning. The Dominican leads 2-1. Back here in Miami, of course, everybody paying attention to this game and the Italy-Mexico game on whether or not the United States could make it, as the first pitch to Fernando Tatis is in the zone for strike one. Italy leads 6-0 Mexico, which, as it stands, would mean the United States and Italy would move on and Mexico would be eliminated, as the 0-1 to Tatis is fouled off. Tatis, 27 years of age, out of San Pedro de Marcori. Of course, what a great start for Fernando Tatis' career. 3-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove, both of those being platinum gloves, and a 2-time Silver Slugger. As he watches that one outside, ball one. Nando, 1 homer in the World Baseball Classic, was that big grand slam that really put him ahead against Israel. As the 1-2 pitch to Fernando. Tatis grounded up the middle. Tovar off his glove, but picks it up. What a play and what a stretch from Wilson Contreras. A beauty of a play by Ezequiel Tovar, as it kicked off his glove, but right into his other hand. And then the stretch over at first by Wilson Contreras to get the speedy Tatis for the first out of the inning, as Erod gives his shortstop and his first baseman a big hand. Now Ketel Marte steps up, singled in the first, scored on the home run from Juan Soto. As the 2-1 is right there on the corner, strike one. Marte a double and 2 RBIs. That single back in the first, only his second hit. Second World Baseball Classic for Marte. Did not play last year, as that one's outside. Ball one. Marte out of Nizao, Dominican Republic. 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger at NLCS MVP. Facing off against his teammate Eduardo Rodriguez, as the 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1. I call him El Nino de Nizao. 35 career WAR, and without a doubt, the best second baseman in MLB, as he just got a piece of that one and fouled it away. It's 2-2. 171 career homers for Ketel Marte. This is a big out for Erod. You don't want to put Marte on against Soto, who homered off you in the first. 2-2, and the umpire calls time, and it was Marte who called it. And the ever-dangerous Juan Soto on deck. 2-2. Marte did not bite on the fastball near his chin, and the counts run full, 3-2. Rodriguez near 50. 65 is the limit, as we take a look at the Venezuelan bullpen. Eduard Bazardo, part of the Seattle Mariners, warming up. The full count delivery. Marte in the air to left field. Deep, back, and into the seats and gone. Ketel Marte gets his teammate and gets that run back. It's 3-1 Dominican Republic. And it is a madhouse at Lone Depot Park. They are going bananas. Or should I say they are going plátanos. It's 3-1 Dominican. And Marte gets the Dominican chain. The big jacket points to the sky. It's 3-1 here in Miami, Florida. And Erod knew it right off the bat. Just looked down at the ground, put his hands on his knees, but now he's got to face Juan Soto, the first pitch. And the energy in the ballpark still is contagious. Marte and crew poses for the pick. 1 ball, no strike. Below the knees, ball 2. We got a Soto shuffle appearance. 2-0. Can you believe it's March 11th and not in October? 2-0. Soto takes down the middle, strike 1. Soto 4 for 12 in the tournament. 2 homers, one of them back in the first. And these Dominican fans hoping for another. The 2-1. Soto fouled away, 2-2. And yeah, he just got one at the letters, and he knew it right off the bat. Pounding his chest and saying, "This is what I do." We saw that a ton with the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2023 with some great timely hits as he's talking with some teammates about that homer. 2-2. A pitch to Soto. Got him looking. Erod dotted the outside corner. Another strikeout. 5th strikeout of the game for Rodriguez. But has given up 2 homers. And Erod slammed his glove. Was frustrated with himself. But still a close game. 3-1 is the score. It'll bring up the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1 homer, 6 RBIs. As his teammate Geraldo Perdomo greeted him at the plate. And Erod's night is done. They're making a pitching change. In comes Eduard Bazardo for Venezuela. We'll be back. It's 3-1 Dominican Republic. Their 11th homer of the World Baseball Classic so far, tied with Italy, who have mashed a couple of homers against Mexico. Bazardo on the mound will face Vladdy Jr. Vladdy takes it low, ball 1. Vladdy walked in his first plate appearance. Eduard Bazardo, 30 years old for the Mariners, had a 2.52 ERA last year. Really showed out in the postseason for Seattle. Had some really good innings, really long outings, as well as Guerrero. Just past his third base coach, Carlos Febles. It's 1-1. Of course, Seattle and Toronto played each other in the playoffs. So Guerrero getting another look at Bazardo. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And Bazardo yanks that fastball. It's 2-1. Vladdy, 3 for 8 in the World Baseball Classic. He has a homer. He's driven in 6. Of course, Vladdy is son of Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero Sr. As the 2-1 from Bazardo. Vladdy into left. If it's fair, it's gone. Out of here into the bullpen. The 3rd homer of the ballgame for the Dominican, and Vladdy says it's my turn. 4-1. As Vladdy takes his trot around the bases, and some more cheering for the Dominican Republic. The way this game's going, they're going to lose their voices. And that jacket's going to get worn out. 3rd homer of the ballgame, 2nd of the inning. It's a 4-1 Dominican lead. And that'll bring up Manny Machado, the 3rd baseman. Well, they've passed Italy now, the 12th homer of the World Baseball Classic. Now the first pitch to Machado. Misses low with that slider. It's 1-0. And Vladdy looks in the camera and says, "Love you, Mom." And you gotta love that. Vladdy Jr., one of the best young stars in the game today. The 1-0 to Machado. Grounded to the left side. Tovar over to Contreras. And the inning is finally over for Venezuela. But the Dominican add a couple of runs. A homer from Marte, a homer from Vladdy Jr. We at the bottom of the third. It's 4-1 Dominican. Back in Miami, Ronald Acuna, Michael Garcia, and Luis Arias will lead it off for Venezuela. And Acuna, first pitch down the right field line, but into the seats. Mentioned earlier, Acuna has faced Alcantara more than any batter. 314 average, 11 hits, 1 homer, and 4 doubles. And with this Venezuelan offense, this game is far from over. Down by 3 here in the third. The 0-1. And misses low, ball 1. Acuna out of La Guaira, Venezuela. MVP, Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger. One of the best players in baseball. Missed some time with injuries the past couple of seasons, but can absolutely swing the bat as that one misses inside 2-1. And how about for Sandy Alcantara coming back to the mound now with a 3-run lead? Can Venezuela answer back again? The 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. In danger of walking Acuna to bring up his cousin, Michael Garcia. Albert Pujols, the skipper for Team Dominican this year. Future Hall of Famer. Not in yet, but he will more than likely make it on his first ballot. And Acuna draws a walk. Pujols has managed some Dominican teams. Now managing Team Dominican, trying to get... has said that he would like to manage in the major leagues, one of the best minds in baseball. So Acuna at first, they'll bring up Michael Garcia. And Acuna can go. Of course, stole 70-plus bases in his MVP season. And there he goes! The pitch yanks Wells, and no throw. Acuna's in at second. And a runner in scoring position for Michael Garcia, a chance to bring in another run. Omar Lopez had big praise for Michael Garcia, talking about Tatis and Acuna, and said he loves Garcia as he shoots that to left center field. Acuna will score easily. Rodriguez cuts it off. The throw in. Garcia's into second. It's an RBI double. And Venezuela says, we're not done yet. So the first two batters, a walk, a stolen base, and then an RBI double as Michael Garcia drives home his cousin. It's 4-2. Just talking about Omar Lopez having high praise for Michael Garcia, talking about Acuna and Tatis, and he brought up Michael Garcia and said he's capable of doing the same stuff that Acuna does. And he said he hopes both of them step up and go 3 for 3 with a couple homers and drive in 6 runs. Well, so far that's worked out, as Wellington Cepeda, the pitching coach, will have a meeting with Alcantara. He's the bullpen coach for Miami, so he knows Alcantara. Alcantara knows him, and another pitching mound visit. I mentioned earlier, these mound visits seem to really help Alcantara a lot. We saw it in the first game that Sandy pitched in. They really help him settle down, as Cepeda doing a lot of the talking. As Luis Arias looms on deck, 2 homers in the World Baseball Classic. And if he hits one here, he'll send Lone Depot into a frenzy. Walked in his first plate appearance. Now Cepeda is done with the mound visit. And the lefty Arias steps up against Alcantara. 6 for 11, has scored 6 runs. And you wouldn't normally see Arias be in the 3 spot. But 2 homers. Looking for another one. Arias right field, base hit down the line. Tatis chasing it. Garcia around third, he'll score. Nando can't find the ball. Arias will stop at second base. It's another RBI double. 4-3 Dominican. And the wheels are starting to fall off for Sandy Alcantara here in the third. A walk, a stolen base, and back-to-back doubles from Garcia and Arias will bring up Wilson Contreras. First pitch swinging down the right field line. Tatis had some trouble with it down in the corner, couldn't handle it, but Arias, not the fleetest of foot, unable to get to third, but I think Team Venezuela will take it. And Venezuela out of the dugout fired up. Contreras, a base hit, will tie it. First pitch swinging, fouls it away. And we're only 2 innings here, no outs here in the third, and we've seen enough action for a full game. We've talked about this game all World Baseball Classic, marked it on the calendars, and it's delivered so far. As Huáscar Brazoban warming up for the Dominicans. The 0-1 to Contreras. Big swing through that one, 0-2. Contreras trying to settle himself. Contreras 1 for 1. An RBI single back in the first drove home the first run. They answered in the first, have answered in the third so far. Looking to tie it back up. Alcantara at 39 pitches. The 0-2. Contreras fouls it away. Contreras takes a crouch in the batter's box. Alcantara looks over at Arias. Nobody pulling him to the bag. No balls, 2 strikes. Arias with a big lead. Fakes the run. And Contreras lays off that slider. It's 1-2. One balls, 2 strikes. Contreras taking deep breaths in the batter's box. The pitch. Got him swinging. Fastball in the outside corner. Got him to swing through it. The first out of the inning. And the third strikeout of the game for Alcantara, as that'll bring up Salvador Perez. Perez, the captain, has driven in one, wants to drive in another here with one out in the third inning. The first pitch, Perez, little check swing bunt. Alcantara looks at Arias, but throws to first. Arias will go to third, and it's 2 down. So that'll make it runner on second. Runner on third for the catcher, William Contreras. Milwaukee Brewer, brother of Wilson Contreras. Grounded out to Machado in his first plate appearance. Contreras 0 for 8, still looking for his first hit. Not driven in a run at all in this World Baseball Classic, but the tying run 90 feet away in Arias. The pitch, Contreras up the middle. Marte's got it. Throws to Guerrero, and the inning is over. Venezuela puts 2 more on the board, gets back within striking distance. It's 4-3 Dominican. Four to three. Take a look at the bullpen comparison, and Dominican and Venezuela's bullpens have done great. 14 2/3, no earned runs for the Dominicans. 18 innings, 1 earned run against Venezuela. And they've both been lights out as Omar Lopez and Albert Pujols will both look for that as Bizardo's night is over. It'll be Antonio Senzatella. It'll be Junior Caminero, Julio Rodriguez, and Austin Wells. Senzatella, starter with the Rockies, a 6.6 ERA. His first time in the WBC. Caminero, a check swing fouled. Caminero from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, 22 years old, 45 big ones for Caminero last year. The 1-1 is right there, 96 on the gun for Senzatella, 1-2. 45 homers, drove in 110. 2 homers so far in the World Baseball Classic. He's really stepped up, one of the young guys for the DR. The 1-2. Yanks a slider. It's 2-2. Johan Santana, the Venezuela pitching coach, looking on. One of the greatest Venezuelan pitchers. Looking on. 2-2. Caminero. Little chopper out in front of the plate. It'll be Contreras who's got it. Throw to Wilson, and a little collision at first. But a big hug. Everybody's fine. And that's the first out of the inning. The throw from William Contreras kind of had to be thrown over Caminero. Took Wilson Contreras into the running lane, and Caminero and him collided, but everybody seems okay. The big hug down there at first. It was the first out of the inning. Now to bring up Julio Rodriguez. 0 for 1. 429 average, 1 homers, 3 RBIs so far. So he looks at a strike 1. Rodriguez, 3 hits, scored 2 runs. No balls, 1 strike. Rodriguez swings through that slider, 0-2. Julio, a great postseason last year for him and the Mariners. Experiencing that postseason environment once more, but this time in March instead of October as Rodriguez steps out. And how about these coaching staffs for both squads? Johan Santana, Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols, Victor Martinez, just chock full of Major League legends. As the 0-2 swing and a miss. 99 at the letters. And Senzatella gets his first K of the ball game. And that'll bring up the catcher, Austin Wells, who struck out back in the second inning. 98, and Julio just couldn't catch up to it. Senzatella, not normally that hard of a thrower, but coming out of the bullpen, you know you're not going to have as many bullets to throw, so Senzatella letting it all fly. First pitch to Wells is popped up, but behind the seats, it foul. Austin Wells' mother of Dominican ascent, so that is why he is playing for the DR. Him and Agustin Ramirez, the 2 catchers for the DR. And he swings to that fastball way high, 0-2. Senzatella looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning to get the Venezuelan offense back out there after a 2-run third. Crowd getting loud. Senzatella puts his glove up near his ear. The 0-2. Misses high, ball 1. Now, I've already mentioned before, both these teams already locked in for the next round, but the loser will have to play Japan. The winner will play South Korea, as Senzatella misses in with that fastball 1-2. Now, some people will say, you know, it's a big difference, but South Korea looked really impressive in their pool play. So it won't be an easy task for either ball club. The 2-2 misses away, and Wells has worked back from an 0-2 count to work it full. Four 4-3 Dominican here in the 4th inning. Wells awaits the pitch. And misses outside. Wells draws a walk after going down 0-2. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Geraldo Perdomo. And just missed backdoor on that cutter. And everybody was waiting in anticipation on what call Gabe Morales was going to have. Take a look at some of the Venezuelan fans not agreeing the call. Geraldo Perdomo struck out to end the second. Steps up. First pitch swinging up the middle, base hit into center field. Here comes Wells to third. Chirrillo, no throw to third. And it's first and third with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the top half of the order as Geraldo Perdomo gets his first hit of the World Baseball Classic. So Senzatella gets 2 outs quickly. Gets ahead of Wells 0-2. walks him, and the first pitch to Perdomo is a base hit up the middle that puts Wells at third. So it's runners on the corners with 2 outs for Fernando Tatis Jr., who's 0 for 2. As Julio Bourbon giving Perdomo his instructions. Omar Lopez looking on. Venezuela wanting to keep it at a run game. The crowd is getting loudy and they're getting rowdy. First and third, 2 outs for Fernando Tatis. Perdomo being held on by Contreras. First pitch to Tatis. He yanks a fastball. It's ball 1. Four for 10 in this World Baseball Classic. It's driven in 6. 1 ball, no strikes. Of course, have seen each other a lot in the NL West. The 1-0. Tatis, a fastball right down the middle. Fouled it away. 1-1. Players of the World Baseball Classic. Caminero has 2. O'Neal Cruz has 2. Vladdy Jr. has 2. Soto has 2. And then Marte Rodriguez, Fernando Tatis, and Austin Wells. First and third, 2 outs. 1-1. Tatis. In the air to left field, way back, going Abreu at the wall and gone. Fernando Tatis Jr., a 3-run bomb makes the lead 4. It's 7-3 Dominican. And Nando's racing around the bases. The 4th home run of the game. Fernando Tatis Jr., his 2nd homer of the pool play, his 9th RBI. He gets the jacket, and that jacket's going to get stretched out. Their 13th homer of pool play. And just an unbelievable scene here in Miami, Florida. My goodness. And Wells now giving some advice to Juan Soto as Marte up at the plate. Watches ball 1. Homered back in the 3rd. And Fernando still fired up in the dugout. And now it's his turn for a selfie with the team. 1-0. Misses inside 2-0. 2-0. And so far, the Dominican Republic has looked like the team to beat. 13 homers. The World Baseball Classic record is 14 by Mexico. That was through the whole tournament. They've got 13 through pool play as a big whiff on that slider by Marte. Marte and Senzatella have seen each other a lot as well in the NL West as the Venezuelan bullpen starting to get loose. The 2-1. Marte left side. Garcia near the shortstop position. And the inning is over. 3 runs scored, 3 on the bat of Fernando Tatis Jr. as he sends the ballpark into a frenzy. It's 7-4 Dominican Republic. Well, this game has delivered and more, and we're only in the home half of the fourth. Sandy Alcantara's night is done. It'll be Huascar Brazoban, the Mets reliever, in for the DR. So Huascar Brazoban will face Abreu, Tovar, and Chourio, the 7-8-9 hitters. And the first pitch to Abreu at the letters, strike one. We had a ball before that, so the count is 1-1. On balls, one strike to Abreu. Misses with that pitch outside, 2-1. Abreu with a leadoff single in the second was eliminated on the inning double play. The 2-1. And misses outside. Appeal. No appeal to third, actually. Actually, there is an appeal. And he did not go. 3-1. Looked like some indecision from Wells, and then he went, and then Gabe Morales picked up on it late. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Ezequiel Tovar, the on-deck hitter, and Willie Abreu draws a leadoff walk. And how many, we've seen it every time the Dominican has scored. Venezuela has roared back and scored as well. Have not been able to chase across the tying run, but have kept them in it. As it'll bring up Ezequiel Tovar. Tovar struck out in his first plate appearance. And first pitch fouls it off his foot. Tovar out of Maracay, Venezuela. 24 years old of age with a gold glove. And so it's a 7-3 Dominican lead, but all the Dominican Republic dugout is on the top step as Tovar fouls that one off, this time off of Wells. It's 0-2. And the dugout went absolutely apoplectic when Fernando Tatis Jr. got a hold of that one. They were having to hold each other back. And Tatis racing up the line, screaming at everybody. The 0-2 to Ezequiel Tovar. Swing and a miss. Got him on 3 pitches. So it's the first out of the inning as Brazoban gets his first strikeout, 97 on the gun. Now Jackson Chourio, who had the inning double play, and the second steps up for Venezuela. It's his birthday today, 22 years of age. And first pitch shows bunt, but pulls back. It's outside, ball 1. Great season last year for Chourio. 21 homers, 78 RBIs. Will be a great piece for the Brewers moving forward as that one misses outside, 2-0. If you're Venezuela, you want Chourio to get on in front of Ronald Acuna Jr., your superstar. As the 2-0 from Brazoban. Misses in. Ooh, called a strike, and Chourio having a word with Gabe Morales. It's strike 1. And Chourio still barking at Gabe Morales in the Venezuela dugout joining in. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on first, 1 down. It's a 4-run Dominican lead. Chourio fouls that one off Wells again, and Wells kind of with an exasperated look on his face. It's 2-2. As Morales giving Austin Wells some time. Both foul tips caught off the shin guard. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Wells gives his sign to Brazoban. Got him swinging. Second strikeout of the inning for Brazoban, and that'll bring up Ronald Acuna Jr. with 2 outs. Just a disgusting 2-seamer that ran in on Chourio. So after the walk, it's 2 Ks for Brazoban. And I'll bring up Ronald Acuna Jr. 0 for 1. He walked and stole a base in the third. And the first pitch to Acuna as Brazoban steps off. Cunha 4 for 11 has scored 7 runs for Venezuela. And the first pitch to Acuna is low and away. As the Dominican bullpen warming up, Gregory Soto. As the bullpen coach, Jose Cano, of course, father of former Yankee second baseman Robinson Cano. There's 1 ball, no strike. And Brazoban steps off again. That's the second disengagement of this at bat, so Wilyer Abreu could go here. The 1-0. And that ball gets away. And Abreu will head to second. So it's 2-0. Runner on second now with 2 outs. Michael Garcia on deck had an RBI double in the third. Hitters count for Acuna, the 2-0. And he takes strike 1. Brazoban, a part of the Mets. We'll see a lot of Acuna this year. The 2-1, grounded left side, but foul. So it's 2-2 now for the Venezuelan right fielder. And just foul, just out of the reach of Manny Machado. Brazoban out of Villamella. Machado shaking hands with a young Padre fan. The 2-2, crowd getting loud. The pitch to Acuna. Left side, but foul again. And Brazoban has played a few seasons with Miami, so he knows this ballpark well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Acuna fouls it off of a Wells again, and another foul tip off of Wells. But Wells looks to be fine as Gabe Morales will take a step in front of the plate, dust the home plate off, and it went off his glove, off his knee. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Acuna. Got him looking at the knees! And Brazoban gets 3 strikeouts after walking the leadoff hitter. We head to the top of the 5th. The Dominican Republic leads Venezuela here in the final game of pool play. New pitcher into the ball game for Venezuela. Jose Buto will face Juan Soto. First pitch right down Broadway for strike one. It'll be Soto, Vladimir Guerrero, and Manny Machado for Buto. And Vinny Pasquantino just set a World Baseball Classic record for 3 homers in a single game. And I tell you what, if you're a member of the United States roster, you're going to buy Vinny Pasquantino a lot of drinks. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets teammates Jose Buto and Juan Soto. As that one's blown away. Jose Buto now with the San Francisco Giants. It's 2-1. Soto's 4 career World Baseball Classic homers. That's tied for the most for the Dominican Republic in their history. Only ones with more, or with, no, excuse me, the ones with 4, Adrian Beltre and Nelson Cruz. As that pitch is shot the other way to left center field, Chirrillo's back, and he makes the play for out number 1. The fans here thought Soto got another one. So that's out number 1. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. also out a homer. Vladdy 1 for 1 has walked in his first plate appearance, hit that homer in the 3rd. First pitch to Guerrero. Misses outside, ball 1. It's been a home run derby for the Dominican as Vladdy Jr. awaits the 1-0. It's outside 2-0. A 2-run shot from Juan Soto. A solo shot from Ketel Marte and Vladimir Guerrero. And then a 3-run bomb in the 4th from Fernando Tatis Jr. Hitters count for Vladdy. The 2-0. Grounded to the shortstop Tovar. He sets and fires. That's the 2nd out of the inning. 2 quick outs there for Jose Buto. That'll bring up Manny Machado, looking for his first hit. Machado 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out in his 2 plate appearances. 6 walks so far in the tournament, 3 hits. Has yet to drive in a run or hit a homer. First pitch from Buto. Misses outside, ball 1. (7-3) Dominican Republic lead. The 1-0. Machado, left side. Tovar's got it. And an easy play for Tovar. A 1-2-3. Good inning for Jose Buto. We head to the home half of the 5th inning. Venezuela looking to bounce back. Venezuela 1-4 against the Dominican Republic. Beat them last year. They've got some work to do here in this last game of Pool D. Down by some runs. It'll be Michael Garcia, Luis Arias, and Wilson Contreras. It's still early, only the fifth. The first pitch from Garcia, or to Garcia rather, is Mejia takes the mound. Mejia, part of the Rockies, 3.9 ERA last season with Colorado. And that one's in there, strike one. It's going to be a tough job for Venezuela, as the Dominican is not giving up a run so far through their first three games. As the 1-1 to Michael Garcia. Check swing, appeal to first. He did not go, says Lance Barksdale. It's 2-1. Mejia, rookie last season out of Santo Domingo. 25 years of age. The 2-1. Garcia up the middle. Marte off his glove again and rolls into center field. So a leadoff single for Michael Garcia. Seen that a couple times. Marte gets to the ball, but it's kind of just had to reach it off his glove. And Garcia's third hit. I'll bring up Luis Arias, who's 1 for 1. He doubled and walked. So great. Garcia trying to power Venezuela here. Luis Arias. First pitch swinging in his last plate appearance, but taking all the way, does not even move. Looked like a video game glitch. As Luis Arias is 7 for 12. So his last plate appearance was first pitch swinging. This one he was taken all the way. Garcia not going. As Arias takes that one at the letters for strike one. So 1-1. Venezuela down by 4 runs. The 1-1 pitch misses high. It's 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Arias said that he hit the entire offseason. Did not take a day off. The 2-1. Inside, popped up. Left side, Machado taking a look, and he makes the play in front of the net for the first out of the inning. Didn't look like Machado had a chance for it, but it kind of just fell right in front of the net. So that'll bring up Wilson Contreras, who had an RBI single in the first. Drove home the first run for Venezuela. And Arias looking over at former teammate Manny Machado. Contreras steps up. The first pitch right down central, 99 miles an hour. It's 0-1. So we saw some early offense. The bullpens have come in and dominated thus far. The 0-1 pitch to Contreras. It is outside 1-1. Venezuela bullpen active. Andres Machado warming up. And again, both these teams moving on to the next round, but it's a matter of whether you're facing Japan or Korea, as Contreras takes at the letters for strike two. But both these teams really want to win. Especially if you're Venezuela, who has not had a great history against the Dominican. The 1-2. Contreras just kind of pokes the bat head out and fouls it behind the plate. Both these teams 3-0. Again, the winner of this game will face South Korea on Friday. The loser will play Japan on Saturday. as Mejia misses in the other batter's box for ball 2. Again, last World Baseball Classic, the first win for Venezuela against the Dominican, as Contreras awaits a 2-2. Broke his bat, popped up shallow right field. Marte calls off everybody, and he's got it for the second out of the inning. Now to bring up the captain, Salvador Perez, 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of this game. Runner on first, 2 down for the DH, Salvi Perez. Mejia, 25 years of age. Salvi Perez is 35 years old, from Valencia, Venezuela, as he's down 0-1. The 0-1 misses way high with that fastball, so 1-1. If Perez were to get on, it'd be the catcher, William Contreras. Perez, 9-time All-Star, won a World Series with Kansas City, 5 Gold Gloves, 5 Silver Sluggers, won the World Series MVP as he swings through that fastball up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The crowd rises to their feet. All the Dominican fans wanting everybody up. Starting to get loud. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mejia steps off and takes a look over at Garcia over at first. So 1-2. Perez pokes it out shallow center. Perdomo's got it. And that's the end of the inning. 2-3 pop-outs in the infield after the single from Garcia. Way to the 6th. 7-3 Dominican. The Dominican trying to win the whole thing for the first time since 2013. Eric Aybar, Edinson Volquez, Edwin Encarnacion, Fernando Rodney were key players for that team. Robinson Cano was the MVP. His father, the bullpen coach, as the Dominican leads 7-3. And that was the beginning of Platano Power. As the Dominican, they have a Platano dumbbell. As Andres Machado, 2 innings, 1 hit, 5 Ks, no earned runs for Venezuela. He pitches in Japan, the Oryx Buffaloes. His first pitch, 99, catches the zone for strike 1. It'll be Caminero, Rodriguez, and Wells. Caminero 0 for 2. He's looking to join the parade. Ooh, 98 tied him up and in. It's 0-2. It's been a lot of star power for the Dominican, not just on the field, but in the dugout. Earlier, before the game, David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez. Is the 0-2. Misses high and away, 1-2. Soto on the top step with Austin Wells and Robinson Chirinos, the bench, or excuse me, sorry, as the 1-2 is chopped to the third baseman Garcia. He throws on to Contreras. That's out number 1. So 1 out. That'll bring up Julio Rodriguez. As Soto, I was going to say Robinson Chirinos, the Venezuela bench coach, but it's Rene Rojas, the Dominican bench coach. As Rodriguez takes below the knees, but called a strike. Rodriguez 0 for 2. And the end of the lineup really has not done much. All the runs have been scored at the top half of the order. As Machado delivers. Up the middle, right to Arraez. Great play by Arraez. That was a bullet, but caught for out number 2. That ball was a bullet, 108 miles an hour off the bat. And a great play by Luis Arraez. So 2 down. That'll bring up Austin Wells. He's walked and struck out the first pitch. Swings through that one, strike 1. Wells, drafted out of the University of Arizona. From Scottsdale, Arizona, as the 0-1. Misses outside, 1-1. Wells still only 1 hit in the World Baseball Classic. It was a 2-run homer. So Machado looks to make quick work. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Got him in a swing at that 92-mile-an-hour changeup. And Machado has done a fantastic job over in the NPB, closing games out for the Oryx Buffaloes. 2.28 ERA out of their bullpen. He had 51 saves for the Oryx Buffaloes last year. The 1-2. Misses in, 2-2. Pitch mix, he got a fastball, a slider, a changeup. His last MLB appearance was 2023. It was a 2024 NPB All-Star. The 2-2. Floated to center field, and nobody's going to get there. It's a blooper single for Austin Wells, his first hit of the game. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Geraldo Perdomo. Second time on base for Wells. Perdomo, in the 4th inning, had a single with 2 outs that led to the Fernando Tatis Jr. 3-run homer. Wells just poked the bat head out there and fell into the Bermuda Triangle in center field. So runner on first, 2 down. Perdomo. Liner to third and snagged by Garcia. And the inning is over. They get a 2-out single. Nothing comes across. It's 7-3 Dominican here in the World Baseball Classic. '23 Pool Play MVPs. Yu Chang in Pool A, Shohei Ohtani, Pool B, Randy Arozarena, Pool C, and Salvi Perez was the MVP in Pool D. He had 500 average and 5 RBIs. As Seranthony Dominguez in the game, it is 7-3 Dominican. The first pitch to Contreras is popped up. Contreras slams his bat down, and Vladdy calls everybody off. It's 1 pitch, 1 out for Seranthony Dominguez. Dominguez, 2 games, 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 Ks, no earned for Dominguez. Dominguez, part of the Blue Jays last year. Of course, in their run to the World Series. Now, Wilyer Abreu, 1 for 1. He singled and walked, takes that one at the knees for strike 1. One out, no balls and 1 strike. That ball misses outside. Last run for Venezuela scored back in the 3rd. It was an RBI double by Luis Arraez. Since then, they've been quieted by this mighty Dominican bullpen. The 1-1 misses outside, 2-1. Dominguez now with the Chicago White Sox. White Sox made a plethora of moves. They now have some of their young prospects coming up, looking to compete as the crowd, the Dominican crowd, playing on their drums, up by 4 here in the final game of Pool D as Dominguez throws ball 3. 2-year, $20 million deal for Dominguez, 31 years old. He will presumably be the White Sox closer, as that one is little high, but called a strike. So it's full for Abreu. Big zone for Gabe Morales tonight. As Abreu, full count. The pitch from Dominguez. Check swing, appeal to third. He did not go, says Alejandro Pissarro. Pissarro out of Panama, as it's a one-out walk for Abreu, second of the game. Around the diamond for the umpires, Gabe Morales, the home plate umpire in the major leagues. Lance Barksdale over at first as well, a major league umpire. Serge Makochechev out of the French Professional Baseball League, and Alejandro Pissarro out of Panama, the four umpires tonight. So Tovar up at the plate. Actually, scratch that. It'll be a pinch hitter. Andres Jimenez, 1 for 5, his second World Baseball Classic. First pitch to Jimenez, fouls it away. 0-1. Jimenez, the lefty against the righty Dominguez. Jimenez from Barquisimeto, Venezuela. 3-time Gold Glove, a Platinum Glover. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. The 1-1 delivery to Jimenez popped up right side. Marte, Guerrero, and Tatis over, but into the seats. A souvenir for the Dominican contingent down the first baseline. One balls, 2 strikes for the Cleveland Guardian infielder Andres Jimenez. Excuse me, scratch that. Was with the Cleveland Guardians, now with the Toronto Blue Jays. As Dominguez and Jimenez, teammates last year, facing off. The 1-2. Fouled it away. He stays alive. It's a 7-3 ball game here in Miami. But the bullpens have shut down the hot starts from both these offenses. The 1-2. Jimenez bounced foul. Or is it? No, it's a fair ball by Lance Barksdale. Guerrero takes it to first. And Willie Abreu gets to second. But Morales and Barksdale making the call. So it's 2 outs. It looked like it was almost caught a lip of the glass, but Guerrero got it. Lumbering up the 9-hole hitter, Jackson Chourio. So runner on second, 2 outs. A base hit will inch Venezuela a little bit further. That ball bounced the dirt. Nice grab there by Austin Wells. A strikeout and a double play for Chourio. The 1-0. Catches that one on the inside part of the plate. 1-1. Willie Abreu over at second drew the 1-out walk. Looking to scamper on home and pull the Venezuelan team closer. That ball misses outside. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strikes. Dominguez delivers. Swing and a miss through that fastball. 2-2. Ronald Acuna Jr. on deck. The crowd starting to get raucous here in Miami. 2-2. There are a lot of Dominican Republic fans here in attendance tonight. Trying to power Sir Anthony Dominguez. The 2-2. But time is called. So we'll do it again. And home plate umpire Gabe Morales just making sure that Dominguez engages with Chourio before delivering his pitch. And the crowd starts to rise again. 2-2, 2 outs. 7-3, bottom of the 6th inning. Winner will play South Korea. The loser will play Japan. The 2-2. Trio left side. Machado's got it. Sets, throws to Guerrero, and in time to get him. The inning is over. Dominguez throws down the chop. We head to the 7th. It's 7-3. Back here in Miami, Florida, in the 7th inning, it is a 7-3 ball game as the first pitch, Tatis with a half-hearted swing. Down 1-1 as Angel Zerpa takes the mound. Update from Houston, it's 9-1 Italy. Pasquantino came up with a chance to hit 4 homers, but took a 4-pitch walk as it's 0-2 on Fernando Tatis Jr. Zerpa now with the Brewers after a trade with the Royals as the 0-2 quick pitch. Got him looking. Zerpa, quick pitch Tatis, so 3 pitches, 3 strikes, a strikeout. That'll bring up the second baseman, Ketel Marte, 2 for 3. Marte had a single and scored on Soto's homer and hit a homer of his own in the 3rd. A nuke sent out to left field. As the first pitch from Zerpa to Marte is low, ball 1. And that one's low, 2-0. And the manager for the Venezuelans, bring in the lefty. They want him to face Soto, even though Tatis and Marte have great numbers against lefties. They just really don't like their odds with Soto as Marte sends a ball to center. Trio going back on it near the warning track, and he's got room for the second out of the inning. Well, manager Omar Lopez, his plan works out. Brought in the lefty, hoping to get Tatis and Marte out and have them face Soto. Soto 1 for 3, a 2-run shot in the first inning. Steps up with 2 down. The first pitch to him misses low and away, ball 1. Time running out for the Venezuelans. Down by 4. They'll have 3 chances in this game. The 1-0. Beautiful pitch, dotted on the outside corner, 1-1. Soto having a conversation as take a look at the shift. Garcia kind of playing near the shortstop position. Jimenez near the second base bag. So they're giving Soto the left field as he fouls that one off his foot. It's 1-2. The 4-run lead for the Dominican, and it does not look like a single soul has left this ballpark. Standing room only, 36,742 in attendance. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zerpa looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Waits his call, and Soto calls time, and Soto pats his chest as Zerpa is beginning to enter his windup. But Soto called time. Apologizes to Zerpa. So 1-2. Zerpa sets and delivers. High chopper up the middle. Tough play for Menez, and you can't handle the ball. It gets away. Soto will stay at first. It was a high chopper. So an infield single for Soto with 2 outs. That'll bring up Vladdy Jr. Well, he had a homer in the 3rd as well. Couple of homers. Soto, Marte, Vladdy, and Fernando Tatis Jr. All of them 101 off the bat. First pitch to Guerrero, outside ball 1. Guerrero walked in the 1st, homered in the 3rd. In 4 games so far, they've scored 41 runs. The 1-0. And Guerrero taking all the way. It's 1-1. A homer back in the 3rd was Guerrero's 2nd of the WBC. He's driven in 7. 4 total hits. The 1-1. And that's in there, strike 2. Every Dominican has a hit in the lineup. Only 3 of them don't. Machado 0 for 3, Junior Caminero 0 for 3, and Julio Rodriguez 0 for 3. So that kind of lower middle part of the lineup, it's been all the top half for the Dominican. The 1-2. Grounded. Right side through the hole. A base hit. Arias was shaded up the middle, and Guerrero went the other way. So it'll be 1st and 2nd with 2 outs for Manny Machado. Great piece of hitting there by Vladdy as he just took that pitch outside the other way into the hole. Hit them where they ain't. And that's what Vladdy did. So it's 1st and 2nd for Machado 0 for 3, looking for his first hit. As Acuna was telling Soto, go ahead and try and take 3rd. I'll show Mike Hannon off. And now William Contreras calling time. Issue in center field. There's a beach ball in the field as the security guard grabs that one. The Dominicans, it feels like they're seeing beach balls thrown from the Venezuelans, not just on the outfield track. It's 7-3. Machado with a chance to blow this one wide open. 1st and 2nd, 2 down. Zerpa deals. And that one's over the plate, strike 1. Machado, 3 for 10, has scored 4. Machado, born in Hialeah, Florida. Went to high school here in Miami. The 0-1. Ooh, Contreras tried to hold it, but called a ball. Looked like it caught the corner of the zone, but it's 1-1. 2 quick outs for Zerpa from Tatis and Marte, but then back-to-back singles from Soto and Guerrero. Brings up Machado with a chance. The 1-1. At the knees, called a ball, and Contreras now having a conversation with Gabe Morales. The zone was very large for the first couple of innings, but here in the 7th, the zone is starting to tighten. Zerpa shaking off Contreras. Finally gets a pitch he likes, and Contreras tells him to step off. The Boo Birds out here in Lone Depot Park. Zerpa out of Valle de la Pascua looking to keep the lead to 4. Check swing, appeal to first. He did not go, says Lance Barksdale. 3-1. And you do not want to walk Manny Machado in front of Junior Camaneros. Hit 2 homers and driven in 5 already here in the World Baseball Classic. The 3-1 delivery from Zerpa to Machado. Popped up behind the plate, but into the seats. So Zerpa runs it full. Guerrero and Soto will be off with the pitch. Over in the Venezuelan bullpen, it's Daniel Palencia warming up. Palencia closer for the Cubs. But Zerpa trying to get out of it. Trying to keep the deficit down to 4. First and second, 2 outs. 3-2. Zerpa deals. Got him swinging! Big pitch from Angel Zerpa. And it's time to stretch in Miami. The Dominicans lead 7-3. It's been a fantastic ball game so far. But the Dominicans have really showed out. 3 innings, only 1 hit for the Dominican bullpen. They've been 17 2/3 scoreless in the entire tournament. And the first pitch from Dennis Santana, the Pirates closer, is bounced foul by Acuna. And this offense and this bullpen has looked dominant, and it looks like the Dominicans are going to roll through this tournament. Santana, 70 games last year, 2.18 ERA. Ahead 0-1 on Ronald Acuna. And that one misses low and in, ball 1. Santana out of San Pedro de Macorís, 29 years old. The 1-1. Acuna shot to right field. Tatis going back on it, and he's got it in front of the warning track for out number 1. Tournament set so far. The United States will play Canada on Friday. Puerto Rico and Italy will play on Saturday, both those games in Houston. Still waiting on the other matchups. Of course, the loser of this game will play Japan on Saturday in Florida. And the winner will play Korea on Friday as well in Miami. And the first pitch to Michael Garcia is at the knees for strike 1. So Team USA escapes by the hair of their chinny chin chins thanks to the help from Team Italy and Vinny Pasquantino. 3 big flies. Team Italy powered by the cappuccino machine as Garcia shot to left field, and he's 4 for 4. A 1-out single, and Michael Garcia's really showed out. 3 singles and 2 doubles. So now Luis Arraez, another runner on first. Again, this game is far from over. Only a 4-run lead. It might seem like it's over because of the bullpen. 5 4-hit games by Venezuelan hitters in the WBC. Martin Prado, Alcides Escobar, Salvador Perez, Luis Arraez on Saturday against Israel, and now Michael Garcia tonight. Martin Prado actually had 5 hits, and Arraez taken all the way once more. 1-0. 7 for 13. 2 homers driven in 8. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's walked and doubled. And Venezuela needs to get something going here, down by 4. The 1-0. Arraez swings at that one high and floats it to center field for the second out of the inning. So now Wilson Contreras, his one and only hit back in the first, an RBI single. Steps up with 2 down here in the 7th. First pitch to Contreras. Swing and a miss on that slider. Nasty breaking ball. That broke into the other's batter's box. He's down 0-1. Another thing to keep in mind is, of course, with baseball now in the Olympics in 2028, is another ugly swing by Contreras. You can qualify for for Olympic spots based on how you finish here in the World Baseball Classic. Team USA automatically qualifies as they are the host team, as Contreras down 0-2. Santana deals, and in the dirt, blocked by Wells. It's 1-2. For the Olympics, the World Baseball Classic qualifications, 2 teams will make it from the World Baseball Classic from the Americas. So whoever the highest American team finishes. So Japan and South Korea out of it, as there goes Garcia. The throw from Wells not in time. It's a stolen bag for Garcia. So the USA automatically in 2028. The highest 2 teams that finish from the Americas will automatically qualify. So we're talking about Italy, Canada, the Dominican, Puerto Rico, Venezuela. The 2 teams will finish from the WBSC Premier 12, one from Asia and one from Europe or Oceania. And then there will be a final qualification event that will give 1 team their spot. So only 8 teams in the Olympics, as Contreras watches that one outside. It's 3-2. So a big chance, because the Dominicans, all these American teams besides the United States, they want to be able to have their big leaguers clinch it. They don't want to have to rely on some of these other teams in the qualification event. As there goes Garcia again. The check swing, appeal to first. He did not go. So another stolen base for Garcia. And Contreras walks. It's first and third. So runners on the corners, 2 down. A big at-bat here for Salvy Perez. We're talking about the Olympics. Mexico as well will now have to potentially qualify through the final qualification event, as the first pitch as Perez is popped up to Julio. Perez mad at himself, but that's the out. Number 3 of the inning. And Dennis Santana gets his chance to do the chop. We in the 8th, it's 7-3. Back in Miami, bottom half of the 7th. I want to correct something I said earlier about the Olympics. Mexico actually ineligible now for the Olympics, as the 6th and final berth will be decided by a 6-team tournament. And those teams will be the 2 eligible teams for the 2027 European Championship, 2 from the 2027 Asian Championship, the Africa Champion, and the highest placed eligible team from the Oceania Championship. So Mexico's done, and some of these other teams like Puerto Rico, Canada, the Dominican, Venezuela, they want to lock it up. Again, only the top 2 American teams will move on, excluding America. As Daniel Palencia in for Venezuela, closer for the Chicago Cubs. We'll face Caminero, Rodriguez, and Wells in a fastball 101 near the head of Caminero, and Caminero got out of the way of that one. Palencia, 22 saves and 25 opportunities, 2.91 ERA rather. Pitched in game 1 against Netherlands, 1 inning, 2 Ks. As he bounces that one, it's 2-0. Oh for 3 night for Caminero, fly out and 2 ground outs. Looking to get in the hit column. Palencia, San Carlos, Venezuela, as Caminero pops that one up. Shallow right center, Acuna racing in, but Arias calls him off, and that's the out number 1. I'll bring up Julio Rodriguez, looking for his first hit as well. He's struck out once, lined out, and grounded out. Palencia used to be a street vendor in Venezuela. Before scouts found him, they didn't expect him to throw as hard as he did, and now the back end of the bullpen for the Cubs as ball 1 is high and tight. And those are the type of stories that are great for this tournament. You can be a future Hall of Famer, a current All-Star, as Rodriguez looks at strike 1. You could be an electrician, like pitcher for the Czech Republic. You can come from nothing. That's what great about this tournament. You can showcase so many different types of journeys to professional baseball as the 1-1 is fouled off, 1-2. And the crowd getting loud again. A 4-run Dominican lead here in the 8th. Pujols, skipper Pujols, taking a look around at the crowd. 1 down, 1-2 the count. Foul tip in a glove, and Rodriguez down on strikes. Again, another reminder. Whoever wins clinches the top seed in Pool D will go 4-0 and face Korea on Friday here in Miami. The loser will face Japan on Saturday. As that'll bring up Austin Wells with 2 outs. Singled in the 6th. And Palencia, every at-bat has missed high with a fastball and then settles in as he's down 1-0. 2 hits in the tournament for Wells. A single tonight. He had a homer. Off day for everybody tomorrow. Then the first quarterfinal game start on Friday as the 1-0 misses outside 2-0. What a wild, wild pool play it's been. Some upsets, some great teams. The Team USA are relying on Team Italy as the 2-0 is there on the outside half of the plate, 2-1. Does it look like it may have missed the plate, but called a strike by Gabe Morales? And the 2-1. That one misses outside, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Wells awaits the pitch from Palencia. And at the knees, called a strike. Wells thought he had a 2-out walk, but will have to head back. And Albert Pujols kind of throws up his hand, and Caminero and Soto kind of barking at Gabe Morales. And Wells peers in at Morales. And Wells, I mean, it's been a large zone all night. So Wells will have to head back into the batter's box. It's full. Two outs, 3-2. In the home half of the 8th, it'll be William Contreras, Wilyer Abreu, and Andres Jimenez for Venezuela. The full count delivery from Palencia. Misses in. It's a 2-out walk. So second walk of the game for Austin Wells. Then I bring up the 9-hole hitter, Geraldo Perdomo, who's 1 for 3, singled in the 4th. Wells and Contreras having a chat in the first base. They're going to see each other a lot this upcoming season, the Yankees and Red Sox. Perdomo got his first hit back in the 4th. Will step up. Perdomo looking to turn over the lineup to Fernando Tatis. And the first pitch to him is right down central, strike 1. Two down, 0-1 count to Perdomo as he watches that one below the knees, ball 1. Palencia trying to get out of this. 1-1 count. Perdomo fouls it off. It'll be 1-2. Palencia shakes off Contreras when Perdomo calls time. We're on first 2 down, 1-2. Palencia to Perdomo. and flies it to center field. Chirijo calls off Abreu. He's got it, and the inning's over. We're at the bottom of the 8th. Venezuela down to their last handful of outs. It's 7-3. Hall of Famers out here in the Dominican. Juan Marichal threw out the first pitch, and Felix Hernandez threw the first pitch as well for Venezuela. It's a 7-3 ball game. As we head to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be William Contreras, Wilyer Abreu, and Ezequiel Tovar. Not Tovar. He was pinch hit for by Jimenez. Camilo Doval split time with the Giants and Yankees last year. Now in his first full season with New York, throws ball 1 to William Contreras. Contreras not only looking for his first hit of the game, looking for his first hit of the tournament. 0 for 10. 0 for 3 tonight. The 1-0. Misses high with that one. It's 2-0. Time starting to run out for Venezuela. Looking likely that they're headed for a date with Japan on Saturday. But still some time left. Doval trying to dig himself into the rubber. Now sets the 2-0 to Contreras. Is there, strike one. Pitcher friendly call. Two balls, one strike. And Doval just drops a breaking ball in the outside corner for strike two. Alcantara started the game. 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, but the Dominican bullpen has been lights out as Contreras grounds that one to Perdomo. He's got it. Over to Guerrero for the first out of the inning. And the Pasquatch, 3 homers for Team Italy in a 9-1 victory as they move on to the next round. And Team Italy take cappuccino shots after every single homer. They have a cappuccino machine in their dugout, putting the numbers of every homer hit on the cappuccino machine as Pasquantino adds 3 of his numbers. As Abreu steps up to the plate. 1-0. Duvall throws one right down Broadway to Abreu, looked at for strike 1. Abreu's walked twice, singled back in the second. As the 1-1 delivery. Abreu shot to right field but foul. On deck hitter Andres Jimenez. Venezuela down by 4. This now officially the final pool play game of the 2026 World Baseball Classic as Abreu watches ball 2. So Puerto Rico will play Italy. The United States have a date with their neighbor up north, Canada. Canada moving on to the second round for the first time in the World Baseball Classic. As the 2-2 to Abreu. Check swing, he went. Ball in the dirt. Wells has to throw to first to complete it. And it's in time to get him. It's 2 down. And this Dominican bullpen has been lights out. Only 2 hits allowed. And it's been 7 strikeouts combined for the Dominican. 3 from Sandy Alcantara, 3 from Huascar Brazoban. As now Jimenez up with 2 down. First pitch him, swing and a miss. Strike 1. The 0-1 from Camilo Doval. Up the middle, off of Doval. Machado's got it. And in time to get him. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 9th. It's 7-3. It's been a great atmosphere here in Miami. Ton of instruments in the ballpark. Great vibes. There's a new pitcher for the Venezuelans. Anthony Molina will have the ninth, trying to keep it a 4-run deficit and give them a shot in the ninth to come back and tie it. First pitch swinging Tatis, strike one. It'll be Tatis Marte and Juan Soto. A lot of drums out there. Hearing them all night long as Tatis into left field. That's down, a base hit. It's a leadoff single for Tatis, his second hit of the ball game. Molina pounds the zone a lot. Will now face Marte, who's 2 for 4. Molina last year with the Rockies, 17 games. One of them was a start. He had a 7.2 ERA. Pitched in Game 2 against Israel, 1 inning, 3 hits, and 1 run. So a leadoff single from Tatis. Bring up Ketel Marte. As that ball misses outside, ball 1. Marte is homer in the third. Put him ahead 3-0. Excuse me, 3-1. Tatis Jr. takes his lead. Contreras holding him on. The pickoff. Not in time. One balls, no strike. Tatis takes his lead again, and there he goes, but fakes it. And that pitch was up and in. A Marte almost hit him up and in. As Marte's got to take a beat. And Tatis Jr. bluffed on stealing, but put on the brakes quickly. So Tatis still over at first. Hitters count for Marte. Two balls, no strikes. There goes Tatis, puts on the brakes again. That pitch is there for strike one as Marte kind of looks back at Gabe Morales. That looked on outside, but called a strike. Ninth inning here in the final pool play game of the 2026 WBC. The 2-1. That one catches the corner too. That one looked outside. It looked like it should have been a 4-pitch walk for Marte. But it's even 2-2. Juan Soto on deck. Molina puts his glove over his ear trying to hear the pitch com. Now takes a look over at Tatis. And he picks over again. That's the second disengagement. So Tatis will probably now be off after the 2 disengagements. Garcia shifted over in the shortstop position. Jimenez behind the second base bag. Arias deep in the hole at second. The 2-2, the Tatis goes, strikeout on Marte, and they got him at second. Strike him out, throw him out. And that erases the leadoff single from Fernando Tatis Jr. And Arias messing with former teammate Fernando Tatis. Embrace as Tatis Jr. wants a challenge. And, ooh, looks like he may have got under the tag, but still awaiting official word. And now Pujols is coming out, and I don't think Pujols got the challenge in time. Now comes out talking with Gabe Morales. Looked like the clock may have run out on his ability to challenge it. First base umpire Lance Barksdale comes over, is talking to Pujols as well. It looks like Pujols was talking with the video coordinator and just didn't get his challenge in time. There is a timer. So Albert Goes back to the dugout, no harm, no foul, so they can't get the challenge. It kind of did look like the tag was missed on Tatis, but may have got him while his hand was trying to get on the bag. So Soto takes strike one at the knees, and now with 2 outs. And depending on how the bottom of the ninth goes, that could be huge for Venezuela to eliminate the leadoff single as the 0-1 misses low and away. In the bottom of the ninth, Venezuela will have Chiriot, Acuna, and Michael Garcia, who have had hard contact, especially Acuna and Michael Garcia, 4 for 4. As the 1-1 bounces a changeup in the dirt, it's 2-1. Two outs, 2 balls, 1 strike. The Dominicans lead by 4. Both teams already moving to the second round as that one just below the knees, ball 3. This game just a matter of seeding. The winner will play South Korea on Friday. The loser will play Japan on Saturday. Both these teams will stay here. Those games both at Lone Depot Park. 2 outs, 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch from Molina is low, and it's a 2-out walk for Juan Soto. And he reaches base for the second time tonight. Now Vladdy Jr. 2 for 3. He's walked, homered, grounded out, and singled. 2 homers and 7 RBIs total in the World Baseball Classic. Molina pounds the zone right there with a strike, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Guerrero uncorked one in the third. Molina. The 0-1. Guerrero into center field. That's down. It's a base hit. Chiriot comes up and will prevent Soto from moving on. So 2-out rally here for the Dominicans. A 2-out walk, a 2-out single. That'll bring up Manny Machado with first and second, 2 down. And Vladdy has shown some great pieces of hitting. It was outside, just went right back up the middle with it. And we saw that from his father so much. And Vladdy Jr., one of my favorite hitters to watch. So first and second, 2 down. Machado 0 for 4, looking for his first hit. Struck out twice tonight. That was more than he had struck out in the previous 3 games. As he watches ball 1. First and second, 2 down. Big out here for Venezuela. Machado grounded to short. Jimenez to Arias, and the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Venezuela looking to come back. Bottom of the ninth coming up for Team Venezuela. Down by 3. Excuse me, down by 4. It's a 7-3 ball game. It'll be Churrillo, Acuna, and Garcia. As Abner Uribe, the Milwaukee Brewer, will face his teammate Jackson Churrillo to lead off the ninth. Venezuela looking to mount a comeback as Abreu brushes Churrillo off the plate 1-0. Uribe in 75 games last year, a 1.67 ERA. Pitched in Game 2 against the Netherlands, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. As the 1-0. Misses low and in, 2-0. Churrillo in the regular season, 21 homers, 78 RBIs. As a 2-0. Misses in, and it's 3-0. Churrillo looking to get a leadoff walk in front of the top of the order. Only 2 hits allowed by the Dominican bullpen. 1 from Mejia, 1 from Dennis Santana. As the 3-0 misses low, it's a 4-pitch walk for Jackson Churrillo. Good start for Venezuela. As that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Ronald Acuna Jr., who has not gotten a hit. Overall in the World Baseball Classic, Venezuela 16-13. Only twice have they gotten out of the first round. Lost in the semis versus Korea in 2009, and in the quarterfinal last year, a heartbreaker. Trey Turner with the big homer for the United States to come back against Venezuela's. Abreu dropped strike 1 on the outside corner against Acuna. Four for 13 for Acuna. Still looking for his first hit of the game. He walked and stole a base in the third. As the 0-1, ooh, that was way in and checked his swing and tapped it foul. It's 0-2. Michael Garcia on deck for Venezuela. He's 4 for 4. As the Dominican Republic on the top step. The 0-2 to Acuna, chopped foul. He stays alive. O'Neal Cruz looking on. Limited action, but already has 2 homers. And they were absolutely belted by O'Neal Cruz. Looking on, trying to watch the Dominican Republic go undefeated in pool play. The 0-2 to Acuna. Shot the other way, but foul. Uribe, tall, lanky, throws absolute gas out of the Brewers' bullpen. As the 0-2 pitch to Ronald Acuna Jr. Chopped, fouls it off his foot. And Acuna will take his time before getting back into the batter's box. Uribe, the sequence slider, sinker, slider, and then back-to-back sinkers. 99 on his sinkers. Churrillo over at first. No balls, 2 strikes. Up and in, almost hit Acuna. As he lets go of the bat, it's 1-2. Second time this plate appearance, Acuna almost hit. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Uribe in the dirt, blocked by Wells. Two balls, 2 strikes. Acuna looking for his first hit of the ball game, and it'd be a timely one, down by 4 in the bottom of the ninth. The 2-2. Acuna chopped foul. He stays alive. Great at bat from Acuna. Being able to foul it off. A couple of foul balls for Acuna. Some great takes. He's worked it even, 2-2. The pitch from Uribe. Missed low in the dirt. It's full. Gerardo Parra, first base coach, talking with Jackson Chourio. Big pitch coming from Abner Uribe. Chourio over at first. Nobody out. Full count. Michael Garcia on deck. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming from Abner Uribe. Pick over at first to Chourio's back in there. Uribe sets. Acuna takes ball 4 low, and it's getting crazy up in here once again. 2 leadoff walks as Albert Pujols and Placido Polanco are looking on. And Michael Garcia comes up. He's 4 for 4 and 2 stolen bases. He had an infield hit. He had an RBI double in the third. And he comes up to the plate with first and second, nobody out, with Venezuela down by 4. As a meeting of the minds at the pitching mound, Langton Cepeda talking with Abner Uribe. And an animated conversation with Cepeda and Uribe. So it's first and second, nobody out. Michael Garcia. Five walks from the bullpen as Elvis Alvarado warming up for the Dominicans. Garcia's driven in 3 in the entire tournament. A chance to do some damage here. Chourio at second, Acuna at first. Great speed on the base pass. The first pitch to Michael Garcia is outside, ball 1. Only Martin Prado has had a 5-hit game in the WBC for Venezuela. The 1-0. And the dirt blocked by Wells. It kind of bounces away, but not enough for the runners to move on. And Uribe having some trouble locating the zone. And it's starting to get stressful here in Lone Depot Park if you're a Dominican Republic fan and if you're a Venezuelan fan. Hitters count for Michael Garcia 2-0. And the Venezuelan fans now getting something to cheer for. Uribe gets his sign, sets at the belt, and delivers to Michael Garcia. Milking the clock down. In the dirt, it's 3-0. In danger of walking the bases loaded in front of Luis Arias, who has shown some pop. And if you're Michael Garcia, you're going to maybe take 2 pitches because Abner Uribe has not been able to find the plate. The 3-0. Taking all the way, ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Luis Arias. And my, has this game delivered. Albert Pujols headed to the mound, and that's the end of Abner Uribe's night. 3 walks from Uribe. His night is over. And the bases are loaded for Luis Arias coming back after this break. And what a game this has been. Luis Arias has flashed the pop here in the first 3 games, and he's coming up to the plate representing the tying run with the bases loaded full of Venezuelans here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Arias 1 for 3. He doubled in the 3rd. And there's speed all over the base pass. Chiriot at 3rd, Acuna at 2nd, Michael Garcia at 1st. In this World Baseball Classic, he's 5 for 5 on the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. Elvis Alvarado in the game. Game-tying run. And maybe some pitch com issues with Wells and Alvarado. Alvarado with the A's, a 3.19 ERA. Pitched in Game 1 against Nicaragua. Only 2/3 of an inning. And the crowd's starting to get loud here in loanDepot Park. What an atmosphere. What a game it feels. I mean, it feels like Game 7 of the World Series and not a pool play game where both these teams are moving on to the next round no matter what. It's excitement on the Venezuelan side and tense pressure on the Dominican side. The first pitch to Arias, watching all the way, 100 up and away, 1-0. Wilson Contreras is the on-deck hitter. Arias, 7 for 14. He's driven in 8 runs in the World Baseball Classic thus far. 1-0. Arias watches right down the middle, strike 1. Even at 1 balls and 1 strike, Elvis Alvarado sets at the letters and delivers to the second baseman Arias. Shot the other way, foul, 101. Arias able to foul it away. It's 1-2. Perfectly placed fastball from Alvarado. One, two. Not a single person sitting here in loanDepot Park in Miami, Florida. Venezuelan and Dominican flags painted everywhere around the stands. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Arias to left field. Soto's there. Caught. Chiriot will tag. Acuna will stay at second. It's a sac fly. So it's 7-4. Another RBI for Luis Arias, and that will keep the tying run at the plate in Wilson Contreras. So Arias does his job, gets a run across. It'll be the first out of the inning. It's 1st and 2nd. Down by 3 now for Wilson Contreras. Soto was placed perfectly out there and left. And you got to wonder, would Venezuela go to the bench? They have Gino Suarez on the bench. As Suarez looks on the top step. First pitch to Wilson Contreras. Up the middle, Alvarado's got it. To second, throws it in the outfield. Here comes another runner to the plate. As the runner, Garcia, heads to third. What looked like a twin killing was thrown into center. A runner scores, and the winning run comes to the plate in Salvador Perez. And oh my goodness, could a scriptwriter come up with a better ending than Salvador Perez heading up to the plate as the winning run? It looked like an easy double play for Alvarado, but yanked it into the outfield. And Acuna was able to score. Garcia heads to third. It's 1st and 3rd, 1 out, as now Wells leading the charge to the mound, talking with Elvis Alvarado. Perez is 0 for 4. He struck out a fielder's choice and 2 flyouts. First and third, one out. Salvi Perez. He's driven in one run. He's only had 3 hits in the World Baseball Classic. Looking for his first homer, and what a time it would be. And if he gets one in the ground, that'll be an easy double play with Salvi's speed. Or should I say lack of speed. First and third, one out. A first pitch to Perez. Big swing on that fastball. Strike one. And now that nervousness across the Dominican side starting to mount. 0-1. The pitch to Perez. Fouled off. He's down 0-2. Venezuela, this is their first time that the Dominicans given up a run. Their bullpen has given up a run, rather, this whole World Baseball Classic. Salvi trying to tack on more. Down by 2 in the 9th inning with 1 out. The 0-2. Perez, left side. Machado's got it. To second to 1. On to first. Double play. Inning over. Alvarado bounces back against the double play. The Dominican wins Pool D and goes undefeated. They've got a date with South Korea on Friday. Venezuela has a date with Japan on Saturday. And the game that everybody had penciled in on their calendars lived up to its expectations. The Dominican wins 7-5. What a ball game. And I talked about Salvi's lack of speed and how anything on the ground would lead to an inning-ending double play. What a game. What an offensive showcase. What a vibe here in Lone Depot Park in Miami. And that's the end of pool play here in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. The Dominican heads for a date with South Korea. Japan versus Venezuela on Saturday. The United States and Canada, Puerto Rico will have a date in Houston with Italy. What a first round of the World Baseball Classic it's been. That's it from Miami. The Dominican Republic wins this game by a score of 7-5. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. 5 runs, 7 hits, 0 errors. And that's it from Lone Depot Park. We thank you for joining us. I'm Daniel Frank. Thank you.